When you drive up to Marble Canyon, you're in this high plains sort of desert with these big, beautiful vermilion cliffs and saguaro cactus, and all of a sudden you come over to this edge and you look down, and it is the deepest canyon you've ever seen. It's in essence the Grand Canyon. Here I am, Marble Canyon, Arizona, Lee's Ferry. It is so great to be back here. A lot of memories going through my head right now, so I'm stoked. So Marble Canyon to me is special because my father and I spent pretty much the latter part of his life fishing there. He loved it. It really warms my heart that we got to spend so many quality years there fishing together. So I felt a need to go back to Lee's Ferry because of my 70.3 journey and how I'm working through that, and how my father is a big part of that. And I just thought, well, I need to go back to a place that he and I shared so many special moments. So Dave Foster was the first guide that guided us on Lee's Ferry. When my father and I would go to Lee's Ferry every year, we would go over to Dave's house and we would have dinner with he and his wife and his kids. And my dad just really, really, really loved Dave, like a son. He wasn't really a guide, he was just part of the family. Yeah, this is my dad's reel. John Bowman. This is the rig he would use at Lee's Ferry every year. In anything that you do, it's all a process, and there are learning curves, there are goals that you set, that you achieve, there's success, there's failure. And so my Ironman training definitely parallels fly fishing as well. You're not great every day. You don't make the perfect cast every time. You lose fish, but with all those sort of non-successful moments, you can take something out of that makes a successful moment even that much better. So if I'm on my bike, right, I'm not keeping a good enough pace. I climb a hill not so well, but the next day I climb the hill. So the parallels are definitely there, but it's all about moving through a process or processes and achieving that final goal. Being in Marble Canyon, in the heart of the Grand Canyon, casting to trout and actually catching some, considering the conditions were pretty tough. I mean, it couldn't have been any better. And when I got that first fish to hand, I looked up and went, wow, thanks, Dad. So my dad was here with us, and it was really special. So it was awesome.
Well, the thing is that your dad, I met him, 20 years? It's been close to 20 years ago. And I was not a parent. And he gave me an idea of how to raise kids. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? This is a guy who took his son fishing during the summertime. And that's what it's about. It's those connections that you make at that young age. And that stayed with me. Yeah.
He had that great touch, didn't he? He could just sort of...
Guy was a teacher.
I know.
Look, tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone, nah.
My vocation is being a wetlands manager, and so I'm connected to the water and the land. And Brandon, being a Native American, is connected to this wonderful environment. When we started running and talking, it was amazing how we had these similarities. Even though we're like from two different worlds, we connected because it was about the landscape. It was about the commitment to the environment. It was really cool. And so stepping into his world really kind of rearranged my thought on training and just, you know, day-to-day life.
This is where I'm from, Lachee, Arizona. We're known as the Diné people. For us, well, running is life. You know, it's something that we do just about every single morning. We greet the Creator. You know, people either go walking in the morning or we go running, and it's usually to the east. To the Navajo people, the direction of the east is something that is special to us. And my grandparents, my Noli, she always said, in Navajo, which means if it's up to anybody, it's up to you with anything you do in life. Whenever you're, you know, the last 5-10 miles of a long race, you know, and it's hurting and you're in the pain cave, you know, you always have that thought, and to me that's that thought that comes up. Because, you know, if you stop and you give up there, then you've given up on pretty much everything that, you know, you stand for. To me, is how I look at it. You know, all the life teachings that I've been taught from my grandparents, you know, I don't want to have it go to waste, and I don't want to embarrass them. And, you know, if I give up on anything I do, then I'm giving up on them.
There's like a sense of obligation to, and that's what I'm finding too.
Yeah.
There's a why, and once you find that, that's going to motivate you to get through, like you said, the dark moments.
Yep.
And it's really interesting to see what you're made of, right?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Conway Bowman. I'm competing in a 70.3 Ironman in Oceanside, and I'm not an endurance athlete. I'm not a runner. So I'm here to get tips from you on how to run and how to learn how to pace, because the last part of that race is going to kick my butt. So I need all the help I can get.
Do you run?
I've started running.
Well, then you're a runner.
Okay, well, and that's good to know.
The body is made to run. This is how human beings came to be. I mean, we're bipedal animals. We're supposed to run. Right. What is the biggest challenge you've found so far in running?
I think it's the pacing part of it, not blowing up too soon.
Got it.
And getting to that point where I'm like, I'm not feeling strong. So,
yes.
And I think that's pacing, correct?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest issues, is just understanding your body, because I think, especially as an athlete, as a competitive person,
sure,
your inclination is to pick it up.
Right.
It is to hurt, and you want to hurt, and mastering, you know, being just below that line is really a challenge, but you got to practice. I mean, it's just like basketball players practice layup after layup after layup, so it's second nature. You've got to practice running that pace, so it's second nature.
So Ben gave me some great advice, and this is a common theme: pace yourself. I started talking to Alex Masai, who is an elite Kenyan runner. Immediately I'm like, well, what's your advice? He goes, dude, just run your own race, man. Just run your own race. Find your pace, run your own race. Just running with that guy was an honor, and he was so gracious, he was so awesome.
It was great. This was speed work, I think, for Conway today.
It was speed work today, yes, it was. Any day running with the HOKA NAZ Elite is a great day. And honestly, I'm a better runner for doing it. It's great.
So after meeting with Ben, the HOKA NAZ Elite coach and his team, I had one more stop, and that was to go meet Ben Kanute. Ben is an Olympian, an Ironman 70.3 champion, who actually won the Oceanside event last year. We went and sat on the couch, and he wanted to go over the course with me at Oceanside. I can deal with the surf, but swimming in the current, are there going to be a lot of currents that are going to be pushing me around? Or
Oh, it's good that you're comfortable with the surf. I was going to ask if you surf at all.
Yeah.
Because that helps a ton, just knowing that. I always try and find a lifeguard a lot of times just to ask them about the beach, because nobody's going to know the ocean and the currents and what's been happening with the surf better than like a local lifeguard. And they usually hang out, I would say, even right at the start. So I just sometimes pull them, like even in the day before when they're hanging out, and just ask them. But
what are you asking them?
I'm asking them just like on the beach run-in, like, hey, is there any like dips in there? Which is something I'll check myself too the day before the race, like if there's anything weird. But yeah, I'd say basically this is, I kind of break it up into like 3 different sections of getting out past the waves, getting to the harbor, and then swimming in the harbor.
How awesome is that? I get to sit with an elite athlete who won that course last year, and he's going to say, okay, Conway, here's the deal, dude. You're going to go through the surf, you're going to go through the jetty, you're going to be in the bay, and he has easy peasy after that, you're going to get out on the ramp, you're going to go to the transition one. I mean, he broke it all down for me. And when they look at you and go, you know what? You can do this. I mean it's great because it builds your confidence, but also it's building in this sort of this expectation that I have to do well. So that does weigh on me a little bit. And the closer I get to the race, it definitely is. But also the obligation I have to my dad. I really want to finish this thing out for him. I want to finish it out for my kids and my wife, to show them that, you know what, you can, if you set your mind to something, you can do it. You can do whatever you want to do in life. I mean, I'm just nervous. This is something I've never done. And the question I ask is, am I ready? And I think I am. I think.